Guys, I want to demonstrate how to create a table. Okay, and this table we're going to call it patient's details. Okay, and it's going to be a hypothetical table. All the names and all the details that we're going to input into this table are all hypothetical. Okay, nothing actual. So if it coincides with anybody's details, then it's random, but that's very unlikely to happen. So let's proceed. Let's proceed. And what I want us to do. So to start, I'll say drop table if exists. Some people do this. Okay, drop table if exists. And I want our table to be called patient details. Okay, so drop table if exists. And let's say create table patient details. Okay, so drop table if exists means just in case this table, especially if you have a very large database, very large data, database, you've got so many data sets and you're not really sure. And then you say if patient details exists and you think you're willing to drop it, then you drop it. If you think you don't want to drop it because of course it might contain very important information, then you shouldn't add these clause. Okay, so it depends on what kind of information may be contained within patient details. So let's assume it's nothing very serious or nothing so important, or let's assume it's already something, a similar table we have created and we just want to recreate and make some adjustments. Then we can say drop table if exists patient details, create table patient details, and then we have to define. So we can say, let's say hospital number, and let's call that int. So you can say integer, okay, or usually int. So hospital number int, let's say first name, okay, first name, let's call that variable character, that's VACA, okay, a variable character, or essentially words. So first name VACA, usually put a number. So let's just say 40. Okay. Usually a person's first name usually will not be longer than 40 characters. So let's say 40. Let's say last name, or you can say surname. So last name, let's say variable character. Let's also say 40. And let's say admission dates, say admission dates, and let's use a date format for that. And let's say discharge dates. Okay, let's use a date format for that. Okay, so what we've done essentially is we've said create a table called patient details. That would be the name of the table. And the columns within that table would be, first of all, hospital number, and the values within hospital number will be integers, which are whole numbers. The second column would be first name, and it's going to be a VACA, okay, variable character. And the third column would be last name, variable character. This 40 is, you can always use, so you might see 250, 400. If you have very long names, you might want to put maybe 100, just to take care of that, so you don't have error. And then the next column will be admission dates, okay, and then that's going to be a date type of, data, and then discharge dates will also be date type, okay, of data. Then let's impute values. So to impute values, what you are going to do would be insert into. So people say insert without the into, or insert into patient details, okay? And then values. So you say values. I think if you remove this into, it also works. Let's leave the into the insert. It makes more logical sense, isn't it? Insert into patient details. you have the option here of still putting maybe some people will advise you do this hospital number, comma, first name, comma, last name, comma, that was the next one. So we've got last name, we've got admission date and discharge date. So you can say admission dates, and then discharge dates. Okay. Or even if you don't write all of these, the only thing about writing all of these means, okay, fine. You can always choose, let's assume you don't have a patient's first name. You can choose to remove that. Okay, and then impute only the values you have. But if you don't put all of these, then it means you must impute all the values. Okay, means you must impute all the values. Maybe if, I could explain that towards the end, but let's proceed. So let's say the first patient's hospital number, let's say it's going to be 1001. Okay, then we'll put a comma. So it's an integer. That's an integer. And then the first name, let's say the person's first name, you have to put it in inverted, in quotes, in quotation marks. So let's say the person's first name is Alan, okay? And the last name is Smith. So the person is Alan Smith. And let's say their date of admission date is also put in quotation. Let's say the date of admission is 2020 to, let's say, December 23rd, is when they were admitted, and their date of discharge is 2023, January 23rd, okay? That's when they were discharged. So if you close this and run it, it should run. So to confirm that it has run, let's say select all columns from patient details. Okay? If we do this, let's run that. We can see our table has been created. And in this table, we have hospital number, we have the first name, we've got the last name, we've got admission dates, we've got discharge dates, okay? You can always decide to add more values, okay? Let's say insert. So in this kind of situation, having this drop table if exists makes sense because I can easily just come here, put a comma, and add, let's say this next patient is 1002, okay? And let's say the first name is Uche, okay? And let's say the last name is Wogu, okay? Let's say the date of admission for Uche Wogu is 2023, January 23rd, okay? Let's say his discharge date is 2023, February 20th, okay? Let's do something like this. So you can always come down to comma. Okay, let's do it. Let's do a third one, 100. Let's say hospital number is maybe 2059. It could be something else. Let's say the last first name is, let's say Chidera. Okay, it's first name. Let's say last name is Mosu. Okay, let's say date of admission was 2022, October 30th. Okay, let's say date of discharge 2023, March the 2nd. Okay, and if you do this, because we've already said drop table if exists, because we've already added drop table if exists, if we hadn't had this clause or statement up here and we just had create table, it will give us an error because we already have the table patient details. But because we've already said drop table if exists, if we run it up to the bottom there, it should run, should include these new rows. And then if we just say select all columns from patient details, we should then see all those other names added. So hospital number, you can see the first names, you can see the last names, And you can see admission dates, and then you can see discharge dates, okay? And then if we want to say duration of stay, if you watch the last video, let's just go ahead and let it, so it just make more sense. Let's tie it up to our last video. If we want to add another column here, which then says duration of stay, which will then be discharge dates minus, admission dates, okay, the number of days. So duration of stay, we can always say alter table. Okay, let's create a new column, alter table, patient details. That's the name of our table. And let's say add column. Okay, and let's say it's duration of stay. Okay, duration of stay. So add column duration of stay, and let's call that integer. Okay, we can say let's say float. So add table, alter table, patient details, add this column duration of stay. Okay, so we want to add that. Let's show you what it's going to be. And if we now do this, select all columns from patient details, we have that new column, which is called duration of stay. Okay, and still in the last video, if you watch my last video, you see how I described or demonstrated how we can then add values into this. So now let's just do it, just so that everything makes sense. So updates, let's say updates patients. Okay, update patient details, and then set duration stay. So set duration of stay equals to dated if. Okay, so dated if, and we'll say discharge dates. Okay, discharge dates, and then we put a comma, and then we'll say admission dates. Okay, and let's say as. No, there's no need for as. I always say this. So set duration of stay equals dated if. Okay, discharge dates, comma, admission dates. And if we want to, because we've set floats, let's make it an integer. Let's round it. So let's round everything to 0. Okay, let's do this. Let's run that. And if we say select all columns now from patient details, we can see duration of stay. So because I did round, I rounded it to the power of 0. Okay, that's why we don't have decimals. So this patient, Alan Smith, spent 31 days in hospital. Uche Wogu spent 28 days in hospital. Chidera Wosu spent 123 days in hospital. Okay, and then we can also go further and say, let's go further and say anyone that spent less than 30 days in hospital, or let's say anyone that spent less than, let's say maybe less than 40 days in hospital had a short stay. Okay, anyone that spends more than 40 days in hospital had a long stay. Okay, so we can do this select. We can say select all columns and then put a comma. Okay, and let's write a case. Let's write the case when duration of stay is less than 40. Okay, then let's say short stay. Okay, when it's less than 40, let's say short stay. We can just say else long stay. I think because you're putting it in quotation mark, I can actually remove that underscore, else long stay. And then end, let's say end as duration of stay. Okay, or let's say end as stay status. Let's put that, okay, stay status. And you have this say the table from which you're getting your information, patient details. Let's run this. So what we've done, you can see stay status. Said, let's call that stay status. And any patients who stayed less than 40 days, will say it's a short stay, otherwise as the else, otherwise long stay. So duration of stay, Alan stayed 31 days, which is less than 40 days. Short stay, which is stay 28 days, which is less than 40 days. And it's also a short stay. But then Chidera stayed 123 days, every other thing, long stay. Okay, so long stay. So what we've shown in this video, we've shown how to use this drop table if it exists, if you want to use it, and we've shown how to create a table, okay? And we've shown how to insert or impute values, rows. We've also gone further to reiterate how to create a new column, how to add a column to your table. And we've gone further to reiterate how to add values, to the newly created column. And then I think this is the first time we're talking about this case, okay? In another video, we'll still go through this case, writing this case or conditional statements in SQL, okay? So short stay, and then long stay. Smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, keep visiting for more videos, and share this video. Thank you very much.